J. Cole. Yeah.
They don't
What's up,
allow
Troy?
chairs.
That's good.
What? They
What
don't
Jesus
up?
allow
Christ.
chairs at Dreamville.
Ah,
That's insane. At least all the other shows that are like outdoors, they always give you the option to like rent chairs or bring your own chairs if you gotta like have seats way out in the back. I did not know that.
but at the same time, if I do go to Dreamville, that's cool. If I don't, I'm gonna go to Dreamville. One day I'm gonna go to Dreamville eventually.
I get what you mean. Same here. Oh, I know. Ella May is supposed to be coming to town this year.
I heard about that too.
Yeah, I forgot if she's coming to my city either next month or in May. I gotta double check.
What's good, everybody in the chat? Part two in effect. I still gotta finish listening to those Leaders of the New School albums. I've been so busy all day. I'm literally. What's up, Ray Sean? I'm doing good, Ray Sean. So 2 more days until De La Soul's music is on streaming.
Oh wow.
Yeah, but you know, honestly, I know they're gonna take some samples out. To be real with you.
Because of copyrights.
Yep.
I figured that.
But at the same time, this month is Daylight month, so every Sunday this month, me and Try are going to talk about the Daylight albums from '01 to 2016, and we're going to end it off with a re-review of 3 Feet High and Rising. Sam said, "What's your least favorite Marvin Gaye songs?" Ooh, that's a good question. Hmm. This is one joint from the '60s I wasn't too crazy about. Hitchhike. Yeah, like the song, but not among my favorites of Marvin. That was a dope review we did of Media Man last night, huh, Try?
I'm gonna have to watch that because I remember watching that movie a couple of times, like a few years back. But the very first time I watched that movie, my dad told me, like when I was like real young, and I didn't, and I have no memory of watching it when I was a child.
Yeah, it's one of those movies. It's like an entertaining mess. That's what I'm gonna say.
But you would think, like with an all-star cast, you would think it would have resulted in something at least somewhat better than what it was.
Most of them niggas just did that for a check. Okay, I'm gonna start in about 6 more minutes. No, honestly, Ron, I'm not gonna. I don't know if I'll say loving basketball over Media Man. Honestly,
Oh boy.
I
Because
don't
I
know about
already
all
know how
that.
you feel about loving basketball anyway, so
Right, but at the same time, the acting saved loving basketball for the most part.
yeah.
But again, I'm not a big loving basketball fan like that. So
Yeah. Yeah, I remember you mentioning that. Yeah, because I think you and one other person doesn't like it, and it was a female who posted a video about it on her Instagram, but I don't know her name.
yeah, you said that to me, and she pretty much said the same shit I said, honestly, too.
Yeah, 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 that's right. Yeah, because a lot of what she said were pretty much the same things you said.
Or black people they love that movie. Like they would cherish that movie.
I didn't see nothing wrong with it. That's just me.
And I
And then
respect
too,
that.
like when it comes to certain romantic movies, especially black romance movies, it was just something I just wasn't expecting from other films like um, Love Jones and The Wood and Jason's Lyric, and
Right.
Yeah, my bad. I was on the phone.
You good?
Yo, crazy man.
You okay?
Nah, I was trying to go to this Dela show tomorrow. They having like a Dela celebration.
Yeah, I heard about that.
The tickets sold out in
oh,
minutes. That was it. Niggas
mm,
had me on hold for like 45 minutes just to say that the tickets are going. And they only letting in 300 people.
wow,
I don't know why, but they only letting in 300 people. So
mm,
I guess everybody and their mom was trying to get tickets to that.
Right.
I guess so.
Sorry about that, boss.
It's all good. Yeah, Webster Hall. They only letting in 300 people.
All right, I'm about to stop this shit in a minute. I was saying that was a good Media Man review we did last night. That's right.
No, it wasn't. You enjoyed it. I didn't. I was just there for support. I wasn't watching
Yeah, I
that
told
movie
Reg
again.
I gotta watch that review.
That movie was trash. That I was not watching that
It
movie again.
was it was trash. I told you it was trash.
That should have been you and Mike review only. Y'all really didn't need me last night.
Mm, mm.
No, we really
Yeah,
didn't
and
need
I
you
was
last night.
telling Reg, like, for it to have like an all-star cast in it, I thought it would have been better than what it was.
So hey, we've seen albums that had many huge stars and they were crap.
Puff Daddy
Mm,
forever.
Yeah, exactly. So an all-star cast don't mean it's gonna be a good movie.
exactly, but you would think.
So don't worry, we got another good movie review this Saturday.
Thank God. You got to make up for that garbage last night.
It's the thank God. I'll let you know the time once I get my schedule for next week. I'm gonna wait in the midnight hour. Alrighty, I don't know about you, but I'm ready to start part 2. Alright, what's up, YouTube? Welcome to another episode of our top 100 R&B albums. This is part 2, and as you can see, all 3 of us are intact. You got your boy Reg in the building, coming straight from the 919. I got my homeboy Try in the building with me, you know.
What up?
Got my homegirl Ash in the building with me as well.
What's up?
All right. So thank y'all so much for the support we got so far on the top 100 R&B albums and shit like that. You know what I'm saying? This time we're gonna do 90 to 81. Like I said, the list is pretty much heating up at this fucking point. You know what I'm saying? We had some dope picks from Try, Ash, and I. You know what I'm saying? Got a lot of variety. I'm very intrigued to see what we got for this episode and stuff like that too. You know what I'm saying? Without further ado, my number 90. This one is a personal underrated album to me and whatnot. It came out in 2008. I know everybody is on this artist's stick right now or stuff like that too, but I don't care. It's Solange with the Soul Angel and the Hadley Street Dreams. This came out in 2008.
Ooh.
Very, very, very underrated album. Yes, I do have another Solange album on this list, but I'm not going to reveal it. This one was like a more Motown 60s R&B kind of album and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? The single I Decided was a big song back in 08 and stuff like that. I remember that I always used to play in like BT, VH1 and shit like that. I liked it on Valentine's Day. Ode to Marvin was pretty good and shit like that too. You know what I'm saying? Solange is always one of those artists that she definitely changes styles within every album. This is actually her second album that came out 6 years after the Solo Star album, which I've never actually heard the album. I'm actually going to hear it pretty soon. So yeah, this is actually my number 90. Very dope album.
Actually, you going next?
Okay. My number 90 is Jagged Edge's J.E. Heartbreak.
Oh God.
Great.
Yeah.
Don't say oh God. That's a classic right there.
I know how Reg feels about this.
You say no God.
Right now. But you gotta admit, for them to come out during like the late 90s and still be a success into the 2000s decade, I mean, come on. They had songs like Promise, Let's Get Married, you know, I mean,
I hate Let's Get Married. I hate
come
this.
on, you can't get no better than that. And not only that, they even had the remix version of Let's Get Married. I mean,
They ruined that
I know some
Run
people
DMC
who
song.
Oh, come on, man.
They ruined that Run DMC.
They did not ruin that. To me, they did not ruin that. I'll be real. Because I'm pretty sure a whole lot of people have been playing either the original or the remix at their wedding at some point. I know that. And in my opinion, I like the remix over than the original. That's just my take.
Respect.
And whenever I do get married at some point in my life, I definitely want that song played at my wedding reception. I don't care what no one said.
Right.
yeah. Promise is my favorite song off the album. Oh, another song that was a hit was He Can't Love You. I like that one too.
Classic. Yep. All right. Number 90 for me is Quincy Jones, The Dude, 1981.
Ooh.
Patty Austin and James Ingram is all over this album. Rest in peace to James Ingram, a classic album. We had joints like Bet You Wouldn't Hurt Me, the Patty Austin solo. You had James Ingram Just Once, classic track. 100 Ways, another banger. Love the production. This is real R&B right here. One of the best Quincy Jones albums ever, in my opinion. I got this over Back on the Block and Q's Juke Joint. Like I said, if it wasn't for James Ingram and Patty Austin, this album wouldn't be what it is. I think they killed it, and props to Quincy for showcasing them, on his project, and I love this album.
Yeah, man. And see, honestly, man, that album is a pure example that Quincy was making heat before he even messed with. Well, I can't really say that because he messed with Michael on the Off the Wall era. But
Right.
one of my other favorite Quincy albums, The Body Heat from '74.
Mhm.
Don't even get me started on. That album is classic right there, and shit. But the dude again, you might as well call that album the James Ingram and Patty Austin show because
Yeah,
they
basically.
carry that album.
Yeah.
They carry that album to the fullest, in my opinion.
Oh,
Shit. Oh shit. My number 89, and I just had this album and stuff like that. He's a very controversial figure when it comes to R&B. If I can find the album, give me 1 second. Fuck it. You know what? I'm just gonna show the album on. I thought I had this motherfucker, but I misplaced it. It's R. Kelly with the self-titled album. This album came out 1995 and shit like that. I know what you guys are saying. R. Kelly, oh, he's the devil and shit like that.
R. Kelly's on my list, so I don't care. He's still a GOAT.
Exactly.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
take away all the personal issues, and of course, we all know he's facing like 50 plus years in prison for the charges that we all know he's been, hit with. I mean, take all that aside. I mean, but when it comes to music, he does great things with it. Even though I don't agree with his personal choices, that's just me. But as an artist, he's dope. He has hit for days, and the accolades to prove it.
Exactly, man. Like he was a fucking genius and shit like that. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, I don't know why I misplaced the album. Fuck it. I'm just gonna show it to y'all right here. This is like my favorite R. Kelly album, believe it or not. This is known for songs like Baby, 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 Classic, Hump Bounce, You to Be Happy with Biggie. You know what I'm saying? You Remind Me of Something. Yes, I Can't Sleep.
Yep.
Tempo Slow, my favorite song off the whole album. Oh, nice down low, let me take you to the place where only lovers go.
Yeah.
For real, man. Like I said before, like I have maybe 1 or 2 R. Kelly albums on this list, but when it comes to this album right here, bar for bar, pound for pound, his best album. Classic.
Facts.
Okay. My number 89 is Keisha Cole's Just Like You.
Now I found
Of
that.
course, yeah.
Now you found it?
That album has so many unforgettable tracks. Heaven Sent. What else? Before I Let You Go. I mean, the list goes on and on with all the hits that she has. To me, I feel like she really doesn't give her just due, as an artist.
Right.
Like, to me, I feel like she deserves like either a Soul Train award or a Grammy award or just one of those big time music awards that you be seeing countless people get like year after year or almost every year.
Right.
I don't get it. I don't know what's it gonna take for them to give her the adulation like that. I mean, I don't know. I just don't know.
'89, we talked about this album from this group, legendary group, and one of my favorite albums, the eighth album actually, from 1977, Earth, Wind and Fire, All in All, produced by Maurice White. Rest in peace,
Right.
Maurice White. And you got the hits, Serpentine Fire and Fantasy. Jupiter was a single, Magic Mind. Love this album. Real soulful, real funky. You know, I think it doesn't get enough recognition when it comes to their discography, and Maurice White did an excellent job on production, and yeah, love the album cover as well. Classic Up in the Fire album.
Yeah, man, that's a dope album and shit like that. Fire. My number 88. You know, we're gonna talk about disco this month and stuff like that, and
Yep.
this was like one of the first albums of its kind that we talked about and shit like that. Oh, there it is. I was about to say it's Diana Ross with Diana.
Yes,
Very,
my
very
favorite
dope
one.
album. My favorite album from Diana Ross too.
Hmm.
You know what I'm saying? To me, this is the album that really saved her career and shit like that. You know what I'm saying? Um, the reason why I say that because she was kind of going through like a commercial drought and everything like that. You know what I'm saying? And at that time, Motown was kind of commercially it wasn't as hitting until Rick James and shit came out. You know what I'm saying? So she hooked up with fucking Nile Rodgers and Bernard White. You know what I'm saying? Of Chic. You know what I'm saying? So they pretty much worked on this album right here. You know what I'm saying? Very, very, very dope album. This album came out in 1980, and if I'm not mistaken, this is actually her last album on Motown. Let's see.
It was.
Yeah, this is her last album on Motown. Yeah, well, before she came back. Yeah, before she came back and
Oh,
shit.
Right.
Hmm. Yeah, man. But there's some controversy with this album. When we talked about this album, we talked about how Diana Ross was not originally keen on the original mixing of what she did and stuff like that. What's up, Jalen? What's up?
Feeling was
She was
good.
not keen of the original mixing, so she pretty much took the album and remixed the album with other producers and stuff like that too. And if
Right.
you guys got like later reissues, I think like expanded edition, they actually released the retail version and then the chic version. And honestly, I kind of prefer the chic version because I love the bass lines on that and stuff like that too. Because when it comes to chic, they're disco, but they also have a very funky edge to their disco, if that
Yeah.
makes sense. You know what I'm saying? Especially at least their first two albums and stuff too. You know
Right.
what I'm saying?
Mhm.
We're gonna talk about chic this month, which I really can't wait for and shit like that
Yeah.
too. You know what I'm saying? But let's get back to Diana. Fire album. This was known for songs like Upside Down, classic song.
Mhm.
Have Fun, my favorite song off this album.
Yeah.
I'm Coming Out. All my bad boy fans should know about that. You know what I'm saying? Friend to Friend. You know, yeah, man. Very, very good album in my opinion. We may or may not talk about another Disco Diana album, but I'm gonna try the list later on and shit. So Diana Ross, Diana.
My number
Oof.
88 is, to me, a very underrated album by these ladies here. None other than Tony Braxton's younger sisters, the Braxtons, So Many Ways.
Mm.
Oh my God.
Wow.
You took it
Mm-hmm.
way back.
Mm-hmm. Yep. I have that album, and so does my mom. And that song, those songs off that album is so slept on. The title track, So Many Ways, was I think a modest hit. Um, Other songs that I love off that album are Slow Flow, um, Girl on the Side, Lady. They even did a cover version of Climax's song, I Still Say Yes. They even did a cover version of The Boss at the end, which was good too, and also a
You said
hit for them.
Boss?
The Boss, yep. They did a cover version
Oh
of it.
wow. I
Yeah, but of course, anyone who knows who the Braxtons are, originally it consisted of Tony, Tracy, rest in peace, Tracy Braxton, um,
yes.
Tawanda, Trina, and Tamar.
Yeah.
Back in the day, they were trying to get a record deal, sign all five of them, but L.A. Reid and Babyface was only interested in Tony at the time, which meant that Tony got the record deal, ended up having a solo career, but eventually she wanted to help her sisters get a get a record deal for them as well. Initially, when they were signed, Katrina became pregnant at the time first, but they allowed her to sing with the group. But I guess when they probably had like another record deal with somebody else or what have you, Tracy ended up being pregnant, and they they continued with the group minus Tracy. So with the So Many Ways album, it was only Trina, Tawanda, and Tamar, pretty much. But Tracy did have some songwriting credits for one of the songs off that album, "Lady," if I'm not mistaken. So
So
yeah, yeah.
where
Anyone
we
who
at?
hasn't heard that album, definitely check it out. It may be out of print. I'm not too sure, but search on either eBay, Amazon, Discog, or wherever else you could probably possibly think of. The music is sold, but if not, you're able to listen to the entire album on YouTube, depending on who posted the entire album. Just saying.
Right. Excuse me. And right, and to answer your question, Troy, we got number 88, and
And yeah,
that's
okay.
I gotta listen to that album. Actually, she actually about to put me on the game on a lot of albums. She actually
No
she about to
problem.
put me on the game. Ooh.
I remember the one song they did for the High School High soundtrack. That's it. So Many Ways
Which one?
joint. That was on the High
Oh
School High
yeah,
soundtrack.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. Because I think Jermaine Dupri was a
Yeah.
producer for that.
hmm
Yeah,
I forgot to. I forgot he did that. Wow.
yeah.
See, Jermaine got a lot of hits. Puffy ain't competing with him.
Mhm, mhm.
And he actually produced.
Yeah. You know what I'm saying? He songwrites. You know. 88. We talked about this group. One of my favorite funk bands. I know Reg can't stand them, but I love them. And I thought they only got better with the lead singer. 1979, the 11th album, Ladies Night, Cool in the Gang, a
Okay,
classic.
I like it now. I
Oh, you
like that
like this
album.
album? Oh, you like this
I
one?
like that album. I like.
Because you shitted on the 80s stuff though.
See,
You know what I'm
when it comes to
saying?
JT, it's the ladies' night and some from ladies' night to something special. That's the
Mm.
JT I like. Everything
And
after
then after
something
that, you
special.
just don't
Well,
you don't care for Tonight and Joanna and all that other
hell,
shit.
hell no.
One of their best albums. They had the hit song "Ladies Night" title track, "Too Hot," "Hanging Out." Just a classic record. You know what I'm saying? And all the songs on this album reached the number 5 on the disco charts back then. You know what I'm saying? And it's definitely one of their best albums. I love it. JT Taylor, in my opinion, underrated singer. He made them better. You know what I'm saying? He took them out of the instrumental zone and put them in the pop lane, and they got more popular with when he got on board. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people that love Cool in the Gang, they gonna say like, yo, Celebration was a hit single. They love Joanna, they love Ladies Night, Too Hot, you know. And I think it's definitely one of their best albums. So yeah, this is it for me. Bears don't
Alright.
like nobody. That's what Jalen said.
Well, the people I like, but when it comes to Cool in the Game, I like the first era, the jazzy funk Cool in the Game, Hollywood
Yeah, but
swing and cool.
they wouldn't have been legends if we were just doing instrumentals though.
Yeah, I know. But at the same
He
time,
gave them an identity. Once he came on board, he gave them an identity, and they just blew up.
Shit. Yeah, but to each his own. Now, Try already mentioned this album right here, and I gotta give this album some love and shit too. You know what I'm saying? Um, we got Earth, Wind, and Fire, all in all.
Yes, great album.
Very great album. See, this is back when niggas made album covers and shit and
Right?
album
Yes.
inserts.
Look at that. Look at that. That's art right there.
It's art.
You know what I'm saying? They don't do that no more with albums.
They don't. But yeah, this is a very dope album and shit like that. You know what I'm saying? To be honest, I'm kind of torn between which one is my favorite Earth, Wind, and Fire album from 75 to 77. This one, That's the Way of the World, or the Spirit album and shit like that too. But I might have to give this album the slight edge because I feel like this album matches the combination of tight instrumentation, dope songwriting. Like this was a very, very unique. Like it combined funk, R&B, gospel, jazz. It even had a little trace of like their first experimentation with disco on this album and stuff
Right.
like that too. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, the songs too. Love's Holiday. Would you mind if I did? Like, come on, man. Fantasy. Be Ever Wonderful, man. That might be my favorite song on this album. One of
Yeah.
Philip Bailey's best falsettos and shit. You know what I'm saying? Very, very, very dope album and stuff like that. It won a Grammy for best R&B vocal performance. You know, so Earth, Wind, and Fire. All in all, classic, classic, classic album and shit.
Yep.
Oh, Lord have mercy. Ooh,
Right.
music.
My number 87 would be Tyrese's self-titled album.
Okay,
Okay.
I'll accept
Yeah,
that.
yeah, 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 yeah. It came out back in the late 90s, of course. He had hit singles such as Sweet Lady and Lately, which was an Anita Baker cover, which I honestly did not know
Mhm.
a long time ago until recently. So that was news
Love
to
it.
me. hmm It was a great introduction to the people who didn't know who Tyrese was, especially he did a Coca-Cola commercial when he was a teenager back then, and he made a guest appearance on Sister Sister
Right.
in an episode, among other shows back in the late 90s. He even guest starred on Martin.
Hmm.
hmm
I remember
Yeah,
that.
but I think this is the only Tyrese album that I only have to
It's the only
date,
one you need.
and yeah, yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. But I I I I like it. I mean, it had a lot of songs on it that I love besides the two that I mentioned. I Can't Go On. What else? What else? Stay in Touch. Just a lot of great stuff that he had. To me, that's just my opinion.
Let's
All
see
right.
which artist try picks for this time.
A good one. 80s, and we actually did a review on this on my channel. I want to say it was 2 years ago. I think it's a forgotten gem when it comes to R&B. The 2002 debut solo album from Raphael Sadiq, Instant Vintage, a
Yes.
classic
Okay.
Mm,
Yeah.
album. My favorite
yeah.
Raphael Sadiq album, and this man came from a legendary group like Tony from Oakland. Love all of their albums, and went on to become a great solo artist, a great producer with Q-Tip and Ali Shaheed and Dilla, rest in peace. And he had some gems on here. Be Here, the first single with D'Angelo, great record. I love that song. He had T Bars on the album as well. You know, she was on Different Times. You had Angie Stone and Calvin Richardson on Excuse Me. Um Still Ray, that was another single where he sampled the Dr. Dre Still DRE beat. Love that
Ooh.
joint. You had High Tech is also on here with production. You got Ray Murray from Organized Noise on production. as well. You know, Raphael produced most of the album himself. Great neo soul album. It's banging. If you love neo soul, if you love hip hop soul, definitely check this album out. I was actually on the street team for this album as well. Shout out to Universal Records. Great album. 5 Mic classic in my opinion. This is an album that doesn't get talked about for whatever reason, but I'm glad that me and Red Chet did that review 2 years ago because that was highly slept on. I'm like, yo, you gotta talk about this album definitely because from '02 especially, like we had like Jill Scott in her bag, Music Soul Child, Alicia Keys, you know what I'm saying, and for whatever reason, and like Raphael's solo stuff just gets slept on, and he has some dope solo albums too. There's some other albums that he did that was phenomenal, but his debut one to me is my favorite. So Instant Vintage 2002 Raphael Sadiq.
Because you know that year everybody was on Justin Timberlake's ass and shit. So.
Oh God, here you go. Justin Timberlake is not making the list. Okay, he's not pure R&B. He's pop. If he did a pop list, it'd be different. I'm sticking to just R&B and soul music here. I don't think that's the reason why. I don't think it was just because of Justin.
Hey, I'm just saying. I'm just fucking around. I'm just fucking around and shit. You know I gotta throw in my dig and shit. All right, well, my number 86 is from. This is one of the best R&B comebacks. This guy literally went on a hiatus and shit like that too, and he returned in a certain award show paying tribute to Al Green. 1 year later, he dropped what many consider to be possibly his best album, and it's Maxwell with Black Summer's Night that came out in 2009.
Great album.
Boy. When it comes to this album here, this album to me is how you do a comeback and shit. This was a more mature Maxwell, a huge step up from now because I'm not gonna lie, I didn't like the Now album like that and shit like that. You know what I'm saying?
It was okay.
Yeah, it was compared to the first two, it was safe. That's all I'm gonna say.
I agree.
Yeah. But this album was very good. Pretty Wings, that's like a classic R&B song right there. I heard that song being played in weddings.
Definitely.
Love You, Fistful of Tears, Bad Habits. You know what I'm saying? This was a very, very great album. In my opinion, the best R&B album of that year. No cap.
Fistful of Tears, that was my favorite song on here.
My number 86 would be Jhené Aiko's Trip.
Great album.
Yeah, we talked about that album. It has a lot of great songs that I like. I like While We're Young, Sativa, You Are Here, Clear My Mind, Never Call Me. I mean, she had a lot of great stuff. It was unlike any album I've ever heard in my entire life at that point. But yeah.
All right, my number 86 is from an artist that he rapped, but I think he's better as a singer, and he made one hell of an album as a singer. Childish Gambino, Awaken My Love, 2016. A great album. And I've heard Childish Gambino rap. Like, he's okay. He's not great, though, but I think as a singer, he's on point with this. Like, if you love Sly and the Family Stone, if you love Parliament Funkadelic, this was like a combination of both. I love the way that the production was real funky, it was real melodic. You know, he had a lot of, huge songs in here. On Terrified, Redbone was my favorite. Me and Your Mama. Really enjoyed this album, and I want more music from Childish Gambino like this. You know what I'm saying? Like I saw him at Coachella a couple years ago, and he was, he had, what's that shit he had? Forgot that song. That song with America in it. This Is America. That was okay and shit. That was cool, but I want more music like this. I think he's at his best when he's doing this type of music. You know what I'm saying? Like the internet album was cool and all that other shit, but to me, he's better as a singer. And really enjoyed this album, and it was a surprise that I would like it because like before this album, I didn't really like anything else from him. But after hearing the album, and so I remember seeing him on Jimmy Fallon, and he was performing Redbone. I'm like, yo, this album is fire. This is one of the best albums, R&B albums of the 2010s, and to me, it's his best album. And I need another album like this, Childish. Donald Glover definitely need another album like this. Find my classic.
Yes, yes. All right. Gotta go back to digging in the crates with this one. Oof. This album right here. This is again we're skipping the terms of comeback. This artist pretty much went through a heavy divorce. At times working as a Las Vegas act until she signed a new deal, and she pretty much asked a simple question. And the album we're going to talk about is Tina Turner with Private Dancer.
I love that.
Very, very, very good
That's
album.
my favorite Tina album.
In my opinion. Same.
That's my favorite.
This album,
it's my favorite, and it's my first introduction to Tina in the 80s. You know what I'm saying? Like I had to go back and listen to everything else she did, but that's like my introduction to Tina was What's Love Got to Do with It.
right. Yeah, man. That was my introduction to Tina too and shit. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So yeah, to be real, this is not her first solo album. This is technically her fifth solo album, but just her first away from Ike. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
This is known for classic songs like "What's Love Got to Do with It."
Mm-hmm.
She did a cover of "Let's Stay Together." Private Dancer, I love that track. I Can't Stand the Rain, the cover of Ann Peoples' track. Very, very, very dope album, in my opinion. Classic album. Classic album.
Okay. My number 85 is Janelle Monáe's Dirty Computer.
Ooh.
I heard that one.
Yeah. I love this song. I was listening to it sometime. I would say back either towards early last month or towards the end of January. Just something to, I guess, to like vibe out to. The song I like that they played it on the radio heavily. That was an incredible song. Still one of my favorite songs by her to this day. I know she did a couple of songs off the album. One with Pharrell, one with Zoe Kravitz.
So
Yeah. Definitely a dope album.
all right, my number 85, another group that we talked about because I felt like this album went under the radar back in the 90s, and the group itself didn't last long, unfortunately, due to some tragic death. But their first album to me is their best one, and it's definitely hip hop soul, New Jack Swing, Intro, first album, self-titled, 1993.
Oh,
Love this album. A classic all around. We had the singles, Love Thing and Let Me Be the One. They did a rendition of Stevie Wonder's Ribbon in the Sky, classic rendition, and production by Dave Jam Hall and DJ Eddie F. Rest in peace to Kenny Green. He was the leader of that group. He died from AIDS. He was a great songwriter. He wrote stuff from Mary J's first album and a lot of other artists, but definitely a great album, hip hop soul at its finest, New Jack Swing, classic.
yeah, very dope album. Kenny Green, man. If you're a Mary J. Blige fan, you don't know shit about Kenny Green. I don't know what to tell you. Shit. All right. Now this is probably one of the most surprising pick and whatnot, and I don't give a fuck because this might be my favorite album from them and shit like that too. It is going to be Tony House of Music. So it came out in 1996.
Why that one? I want to ask you why that one instead of the others.
Well, realistically, they had a very consistent discography. Like I could easily do Sons of Soul and the Revival, but I feel like with this one, I feel like the production was unique. I felt like it was like a more mature album.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I feel like this album again was like more of a neo soul album and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying?
No.
It has some of my favorite 2020 songs. To Last Summer, Let's Get Down, Loving You, Holy Smokes, and G Wiz. You know what I'm saying? I felt like vocally Dwayne and I feel this vocally Dwayne's best album with 2022. You know what I'm
Okay.
saying? I feel like Dwayne was definitely the star on this album, and unfortunately, they were beefing around this album due to creative differences, so they broke up and stuff like that too. So
Yeah.
that's bullshit. So this is Tony House of Music. Yeah, I'm listening. I'm just getting some water right quick. Give me 1 second.
All right.
My number 84 pick is Portraits, first album. Yeah, they're self-titled.
That's slept on for sure.
Oh yeah, it's highly slept on. Of course, they've had songs such as "Here We Go Again." I mean, people would still hear that on the radio every now and again. Of course, "On and On," which is good, and "Honey Dip."
Honey Dip was my dream.
Another song that was a hit for them. But I
That was
know
fire.
this version and the radio edit version sound different to me.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Dope hit.
Yeah, the radio edit version of Honey Dip wasn't bad at all.
Yeah, that's slept on.
Yeah. I was telling Troy that my number 84 pick was Portraits, first album.
Oh, here
Yes. Highly underrated. We
and
got to do a review for that.
And I even remember that episode of Family Matters when they guest starred on there.
The acapella version. Ooh,
Yeah,
they were
that
going.
was so good.
And in on that.
Mhm.
We got.
They were one of the. Yeah, they were one of the few boys to men influence groups that I liked and shit.
Right.
Yeah.
Cause I can't stand Shy,
What?
Surface.
Yeah, I wasn't big on Charlotte.
Oh,
I hate If I Ever
come
Fall in
on.
Love Again.
Man, no.
Cause
Well, believe
the
it
thing
or
about
not,
art,
Shy is on my list. Believe it or not, Shy is on my list. So
Okay.
they're not on my list for this. They're not on my list for this episode, but next episode they are.
I'll be prepared.
Wow. You said, well, so Ronnie said, what about Take Six? You didn't like them?
I love
I'm
Take
not
Six.
familiar with Take Six, to be honest with you. I'm not
That was
familiar with
Brian
that.
McKnight's group.
Yeah. Yo, Jalen, you know one of my favorite songs? They did this song for Murphy Brown and shit like that I fucking love and stuff, you know?
I never watched that show.
Yeah, I know.
I never watched that show either.
Number 84, a recently released album, to me, best album with 2021. Bruno Mars and Anderson .Paak, Silk Sonic.
Ooh.
Classic
Oh, shit.
album. A classic album. Leave the Door Open, a classic record. Love Train, they did a rendition of Love Train that was just as dope as the original.
Yeah.
You had Smoking Out the
Yeah.
Window,
Yeah.
Skate After Last Night. Love it. I'm a
Mhm.
huge Anderson .Paak fan, a huge Bruno Mars fan, and the fact that both of them can get together and give us another classic, it's like they don't miss. They don't have one whack album between each other.
No.
And I love the fact that they're like two of my favorite artists when it comes to like R&B and pop, and they're making the best music, individually and together. And this is a great album. I wish there was more songs on here. It's just a short album, but great. Definitely a 5 Mic classic already. And I had to put this on the list.
All right, number 83. 3 more juicy albums to go. Ooh. Well, you guys know how much I love Babyface, and this actually is my favorite Babyface album. And this might be a surprise to a lot of people, but I feel like his production. When people talk about his production, I hear the Tonys and Marys, but When you have this album right here, this album,
Yeah. Oh yeah, for sure,
Ooh,
for
I
yeah.
sure.
mean,
I thought you was gonna
yeah.
pick an actual album from him though.
Well, technically, it is an actual album 'cause he
Yeah,
produced
he
everything.
produced. I'm talking about him as an artist though, not as a producer.
That's what I was thinking myself.
I mean, production is an
So
artistry, but I
yeah,
hear what you're saying.
yeah,
I hear what you're
production
saying.
is on point.
Right.
Yeah, production is on point.
Because I know everyone's talking about his latest album, which is very good. It's like the first
Yeah.
R&B album with all females, but he kind of did it with the
Yeah,
Waiting to Exhale soundtrack
Yep.
and
yeah.
stuff like that.
You see,
And this
Whitney
was
was the one that chose the Whitney chose those artists though. It wasn't him.
exactly.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, because he said that on the Sway morning show that it was Whitney that she chose all the artists, and there's even artists that they didn't choose that he can't name because they still out now singing.
Mm,
Maybe
Yeah.
one day he'll put that in his memoirs or something. But Whitney chose all those artists for that soundtrack.
mm.
Probably maybe Madonna. Maybe Madonna was
Right, could have been
approached.
Mary. I mean, I'm not
I
Mary.
did not know that.
Who was it? Who wasn't on that soundtrack? Monica wasn't on that soundtrack, right?
Yeah, Mary was on the soundtrack. TLC,
Monica
Brandy,
wasn't though. I
Aretha.
don't think Monica was on there. So it could have been Monica.
Well, she
Could have
was
been
just
singing.
coming out.
But that's
Right.
true. That's true.
Because mind you,
Yeah.
Brandy had herself titled a year before and shit like that too.
Mm-hmm.
So she was already a
Right.
household name at the time.
Mm-hmm.
Right. Facts. Yeah.
Hell, maybe. Damn that. Who was damn? Because I'm trying to think now. And Vogue wasn't there.
And Vogue wasn't on there, right? Could have been
Yeah,
them.
No, no, no.
maybe Tracy Chapman.
True.
Nope.
But yeah, but back to this soundtrack. Waiting to Exhale. You know, as a movie, I know it's a pretty good movie. It's not among my go-tos and stuff like that because I kind of feel like that's more of like a quote unquote chick flick. You know what I'm saying? But
Yeah, it
I love
is. It
that
is.
it's well acted. Like rest in peace,
Mm-hmm.
Whitney Houston, Gregory Hines, and shit like that.
Mm-hmm.
But the soundtrack was what really got me. You know,
Yeah.
Brandy's sitting up in my room, Tony's Let It Flow, um, Whitney with the exhale shoot. Why does it hurt so bad? And Count on Me. I mean, Faith Evans kissing you. You know what I'm saying? I feel like this album, you know, was very dope and shit like that too. You know what I'm saying? So
Oh, yeah.
yeah, classic.
Mm. My number 83, Troops Attitude.
Nice.
Shit. Okay.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, they had hits on here like I'm Not Soup, Spread My Wings, That's My Attitude, and their rendition of the Jackson Fives, All I Do Is Think of You.
Very
Which low
dope.
key, which low key, a whole lot of people didn't know that was a Jackson 5 song that they did. I, for
Mhm.
one, surely didn't know, and my mom didn't know that until I told her recently.
Yep.
But yeah, definitely a great album by by a great group who I feel really didn't finish what they started. And rest in peace to Reggie Warren of the group.
Where we at? 83.
Yes, sir.
83. This artist I never really listened to this artist until this album, but I know his talents, and a lot of people say he might be the great. He might have taken the throne from R. Kelly. I don't know. That's still debatable.
Hold on.
The
Now, hold
album is
on.
going to be 12 years this month. Actually, 12 years. 12 years ago this month, this album came out, and to me, it's one of his best albums. Chris Brown, Fame, great
Oh
album,
gosh.
a classic.
Mm,
We had joints like Deuces and Look at Me Now with Busta Rhymes, Beautiful People, She Ain't You, Wet the Bed, Bomb with Wiz Khalifa. Classic album. And I never was a Chris Brown fan before this, but I'm like I heard a lot of the songs. I'm like, yo, this album is fire. To me, like I said, to me, it's like one of his best albums ever. It's gonna be 12 years this year. It's crazy, but definitely a great great album. A lot of different producers. You had Timberland on here. You had the Stereotypes, the Underdogs, Diplo, Benny Um, great album. Definitely, I highly enjoyed this album. I still play this album, and yeah, like I said, like to me, it's one of his best albums. So
Yeah, that has some joints and shit like that. You know what I'm
what's
saying?
your
That has
favorite
some
Chris
joints.
Brown album? You have a favorite?
Probably the exclusive album, to be real with you.
Okay.
Like, I'm not the biggest Chris Brown fan, but I like some songs from him and shit.
Same, same.
And it's not because of the whole Rihanna shit.
Yeah.
I just mostly heard the first two albums, but then when he did the one after that with the I Can Transform Ya, I kind of
Mm,
fell off him. Fame was pretty good.
yeah.
I like the joint he did with the Michael Jackson sample. But then
Yeah.
when he started doing,
She ain't you.
yeah, but when he started doing them triple albums and shit like that, I'm just
Oh God,
like,
yeah.
that was when the consistent. I was just like, some good songs, but I'm just like, some of them should have been left in the studio.
To me, all of his shit now sound the same.
Yeah, that's the thing. Yeah,
You know what I'm saying? Like, if you're gonna do a 40 track album, it gotta be different shit. I'm hearing not 40 tracks of the same shit.
right.
Mm.
So I'm not gonna mince any words. This is my number 82, SWV with "It's About Time" and shit like that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Fucking fire album. Everyone knows. I get so weak and don't need. Everyone knows that track.
Mhm.
I'm so into you. You know, right here, which I'm not gonna hold you. I prefer the Human Nature remix and stuff like that. The album version was okay,
Mhm.
but the Human Nature that just better suited them and shit like that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yeah, this was a nice little introduction. One of my favorite R&B debuts of that time and stuff like that too. 'Cause '92, we had Mary J. Blige, What's the 411? We had Jay's J to the
TLC.
Max,
Yeah.
TLC, who won the TLC tip, which
Classic.
honestly,
Mm-hmm.
if I had to pick one debut, it might be who won the TLC tip. You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying? But
Same.
Mm-hmm.
this album to me was definitely another great album. Now you guys know New Beginning. That's to me their magnum opus, but I feel like with this album, just definitely set the tone with this album. So
Mm-hmm.
SWV, It's About Time.
Mm.
Yes. Shout out to them.
My number 82 is Montel Jordan's More album.
Ooh, I got that one too. That's a good
Yeah,
one.
yeah, yeah.
That
I
was
like.
okay.
I like that. I like that album. To me, that's one of my favorites. Other than This Is How We Do It and
Yep.
Get It On Tonight. So, but yeah, the songs that I still enjoy to this day are Falling. I like featuring Slick Rick.
Dope.
Yeah, and I know there's a whole lot of other songs that I still enjoy. Never Alone, and yeah, those are some of the ones that stand out to me. Oh, You're All I Need. That was another one that I like as well. Yeah, but
That
to
was a great
me,
album.
Montel Jordan, I think he is always going to be known for This Is How we do it.
Mhm.
But to me, there's
Right.
more to him than that, and I feel like they didn't want him to like branch out and to grow and evolve from the hip hop R&B sound and not take him seriously as a full on R&B singer. You know?
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Very good point.
Yeah. That's a slept on album. Definitely. That was
Yeah,
good.
it is.
His last good album, in my opinion. And I'm not even a big fan of him like that.
I like Get It On Tonight. That was a good album too.
Uh,
Me too. Me too. I
you
like
should
Get It On
stop what you
Tonight.
said.
Man.
I
82.
never
80,
listened to his album that
mhm.
had that song "Let's Ride." I never listened to that one.
Yeah. That one was a huge hit, the single. I don't think the album did well though.
Mm.
Because it sucked.
Oh man. Number
He
82.
was
Go ahead.
he was voting for No Limit at that time. It's like nah,
Yeah. Yeah, that had a Master P and Silk the Shocker was on that song.
Yeah.
yeah.
That was huge. That was a huge hit up here. They were bumping that like every day. You know. 82 might be controversial, but I don't care. I think she was able to rap and sing. Lauryn Hill, 1998, Miseducation, great album. It is hip hop and R&B, but
Yay.
on this album, she's singing more than she's rapping, and she's only rapping like on maybe 3 or 4 songs. It's not
Right.
like every song she's rapping on. You know, she showcased her singing, and she did it well. Production by herself. She didn't run to get RZA like was the rumor that RZA supposed to be on this album, and no Wyclef
Now wait
on
a
it.
minute.
Huh?
Now you know there's some allegations that she didn't do all them production. Now
Well, I mean, in the credits it say Lauryn Hill. It don't say Wyclef. It don't say RZA or nobody else. All Lauryn Hill on this album. And it's a 5 mic classic. People argue for years. Is it hip hop? Is it R&B? You know what? It's both.
It's both. Yeah.
She's rapping and she's singing, but
Mhm.
she's singing more than she's
Mhm.
rapping. There's many songs on here like To Zion featuring Carlos Santana that she's singing on that. She's not rapping.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? X Factor, she's singing on that. She's not rapping.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Doo-wop, she's rapping and singing.
And singing. Yep.
Final Hour, she's rapping and singing. Lost One, same thing with that.
Yep.
Get it right. This is a fusion. So it made my hip hop list. Is making my R&B list. 5 mic classic.
you better let them know.
You know.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
This is why we here.
Now this one right here, this might be a controversial pick. You know what I'm saying? But I don't give a fuck. This album was dope. This Lionel Richie, Can't Slow Down. Number
Oh,
9,
yes.
my
That's my favorite. Definitely.
number 81.
Classic Lionel right there.
For real. This was, second album, fresh out the Commodores. This was part of the whole MTV era. One of his best-selling album. It went diamond. Yes, diamond. It won Grant Album of the Year in '85. Mind you, this album came out in '83, and it pretty much was one of the albums that dominated '84 next to Purple Rain and, to an extent, Thriller. Excuse me. Thriller dominated the charts from '82 to '85. Let's be.
Thriller's still dominating now.
It is.
You know what I'm saying? It ain't never left.
Shit ain't never left. All right, but for real though, this album was known for songs like All Night Long, Penny Lover, Running with the Night. I won't be controversial, but I hate Hello.
Oh man, what?
I hate Hello. That's my least favorite song. It's like there's so many good shit that Can't Slow Down. That's the album's legacy, and the video. Don't even get me started on the video.
Hello.
Man.
Is it me you're looking for?
For?
Classic record, man. What?
Yeah.
Come on.
Yeah.
They don't make ballads like that no more.
Nope.
And there's a reason why.
No, Red is crazy, man.
Shit, man. But
Can't with you.
But for real though, I definitely plan on doing a review on his first 2 albums. Cause I know we did Dancing in the Ceiling, which that's an album that it's a good album. It grew on me.
I'm a pop album. Like he knew what he was doing. He was going pop.
He knew what he was doing.
Yeah.
But his shit from '82 to '86. That's all I'm sticking with right there. Everything after was pretty hit or miss for me.
Right.
But yeah, this is Lionel Richie, Can't Slow Down.
Okay. My number 81 to me is an album from this R&B trio from the 90s that I don't think a whole lot of people talk about, even though they were done through MJJ Productions, aka Michael Jackson's production company back in the day. I talk about Brownstones, From the Bottom Up.
Ooh. Classic.
Yeah.
Oh,
I
thought you were talking
Yep.
T.
Yep. Yep. And recently I think either the birthday or the anniversary of Max's passing. Yeah, yeah. I still can't get over that.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah, that was crazy how it happened. Yeah. Yeah, this album has songs such as with hits such as If You Love Me. Of course that song was sampled through Tory Lanez and, for his song Say It. I Can't Tell You Why was another hit for them. Um Grapevine, you know. Yeah, this album has a whole lot of hits, especially like when you listen to those songs in particular.
Mhm.
It's like they're meshing with R&B with a bit of a gospel influence to them when I listen to this album. I don't know if that's just me.
Yeah,
Yeah, I get that feeling too.
Yeah,
gospel R&B at its finest.
yeah.
All right, my last one. We talked about this artist. Her first two albums were garbage, but she switched up, and I'm glad that she did. Because if she didn't, she would not be a Hall of Famer right now. From the legendary Jackson family, Janet Jackson, Control, Five Mike Classic,
Hey.
37 years ago, this album dropped.
Mm,
And man, the difference when you hear the
between those
subtitle
first two
and you
albums
hear
and
Dream
now.
Street and then you hear this with Jimmy Jam and Terry Lewis on production, this is a complete turnaround. Like this is
Mm,
like Fuji's turnaround, like from Blended on Reality to the score, complete turnaround.
mm,
And when you had joints like What Have You Done For Me Lately and Let's Wait a While, Funny How Time Flies,
yep,
the title track, Pleasure
yep,
Principle, every
yep,
track on here is a classic.
yep,
Every track on here made the charts. Phenomenal production. Janet
yep.
is a legend. I definitely want to see her
Yes.
before she drops dead. I want to see her live in concert. I have to
Mm,
see her because I missed Michael. I definitely need to see her in concert in some way. Her
mm,
live performances, her stage presence, everything about her. Nobody is touching her.
mm,
She's a legend. This is one of her best albums, and I'm gonna have more Janet albums on this list. It's not just gonna be this because she has
mm,
multiple classics. And hey, somebody might get bumped off her, but that's just the way it's gonna
mm,
be. And yeah, Jimmy Jam and Terry Lewis at their finest work with this album in '84, in '86, my bad, and yeah, Five Mile Classic.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. That's definitely a big difference compared to those first two albums that we talked about.
Oh yeah, by far.
Yeah.
Yeah, they were definitely not her best.
No.
No, no. And I was telling Ray John before I hopped on, like I would want to go see Janet live, but tickets for her show in my city are just
It's
ridiculous.
crazy.
Like,
Yeah.
yeah, cause it would mean like if I wanted to get a good seat, I would have to pay like somewhere between like $400 to six
Hmm.
hundred dollars. I'm like,
Yeah.
I never spent that much money on concert tickets ever.
But I would for her because it's Janet. I would do that for her. You know what I'm saying?
As
Because
much as
this
I
is like
love
once in a
Janet,
lifetime.
yeah, I get what you're saying. But it's like, yeah, it would be dope for me to go see her live. But it's like, as much as I love Janet's music, I'm not gonna be
Yeah.
spending that much money on concert tickets. I'm
Right.
sorry.
She got a kid to feed now. You know.
I understand that. I understand that she got bills to pay and
Hmm.
of course taking care of her kid. I mean, I understand that. Don't get me wrong. I'll support Janet like regardless, but still, it's like I just pick and choose my
Yeah.
battles when it comes to concert tickets and
Right. You got to now,
but
especially like we coming out of COVID.
yeah, yeah,
People are
that too,
strapped for
that
cash.
too.
So
Yeah, yeah, because a lot of people would pay like an arm and a leg for concert tickets, especially like
mhm.
with the Alicia Keys concert I went to last year. Like some people who wanted the full VIP experience
Mhm.
that also includes meeting her after the show, they
Oh
paid over $1,000 for them
yeah.
tickets.
She got kids.
Man, that's car mortgage.
Right. That too.
Yeah, but I paid like I got a certain VIP package deal,
Mhm.
even though it would have been nice to meet her. But like I said, I pick and choose my battles when it comes to show tickets. The VIP package deal that I got was for me to be able to get access to the venue early
Right.
and get in before the
Everybody
general
else.
admission people. Yeah,
Right.
and then that meant I could go get stuff from like get merchandise or
Hmm.
whatever, you know,
And then she
things
can
like that.
autograph it and all that.
Yeah, yeah, things
Yeah.
like that.
Hmm.
Yeah, and I got good seats for me to see it, and overall I had fun, and I only spent a little over 200.
That's good.
Yeah,
That's good.
yeah,
Definitely. But
yeah.
other than
It just
that, y'all,
depends on the venue, who it is, and if they got like multiple acts during that
Mhm.
show.
Right.
Because at that time it was Pink Sweat and her. That was it.
Right. That's dope.
so but yeah, two down, eight more parts to go.
Mm.
You know what I'm saying? This is a pretty good list so far. You know, like I said, 80 to 71. I'm just gonna glide on by, but once we get into 70 61, in my opinion, it's gonna start heating up.
Oh,
I'm enjoying this shit so far. You know what I'm
Hmm.
saying? I'm gonna come back probably about like 12, 15, because we're gonna do the lead of the new school double review and shit like
that's
that. And I gotta finish listing those albums and stuff
that's gonna
too.
be interesting.
Plus, you know what?
That's gonna be interesting.
Right. Other than that, part three is gonna be next week. You know what I'm saying? Also got the De La and Disco month. Gonna start ahead of that next week too.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So yeah, appreciate this try, appreciate this Ash as usual. I
All
will
right.
see y'all when I see y'all. Peace.
Peace.
Peace.